Namaste Bharti ji, Namaste Deepak ji. Thanks a lot for blessing us with an opportunity to speak to you. And we have learnt a lot of Mahabharata from both of you, from whatever you have written in so much good. And today we would like to understand more about the things which people don't know. And this is an opportunity for us to take more of Mahabharata to the world right now. Thank you for coming. So, on that note, I would like to ask to tell us, there are thousands of stories in Mahabharata which have a lot of value to the current world too. So, if you can tell us one small story and what is that related to the current world, that will be a great opportunity to start. Bharti ji, we can start with you.
Yeah, thank you first of all for having us here. And this is one of my favorite stories also, and a very short one. It is set at a time when the Pandavas have not yet become the warriors that they are, set right after the Lakshagraha, when they are wandering in the forests, and they are homeless people, they are wandering in the forest. Arjuna has not yet got his Gandiva yet. He is not yet the great warrior that is going to be, although he has a list of achievements to his name. And they are wandering towards, they are going on the banks of the Ganga, and it is night time. They come across this Gandharva. He is frolicking in the Ganga at night time, and he is quite an arrogant guy, and he comes out and he says, "How dare you people, mere mortals, come out to the banks of the Ganga and this forest?" They are traveling through a forest. This forest and the Ganga belong to me at this point of time. How dare you come over here and, coolly walk through my domain? You're mere mortals, so I'm going to, this is not done. And he starts attacking them.
Okay.
And Arjuna is leading the way. He's got a fire torch in his hand and a shield. He doesn't have the Gandiva yet. He doesn't even have his bow with him at that point. So he sees that this celestial is attacking them, and he says, "Okay, you're a celestial, so I'm going to use celestial weapons against you." And he lets loose the Agneastra against him. Mm-hmm. And that burns down this guy's Ratha. This guy is known for having a magnificent Ratha. That's why he's called Chitra Ratha as well.
Okay.
So the Ratha burns down to ashes, and this guy is knocked out. And when he's knocked out, Arjun takes him, drags him to Yudhishthira, and his wife, her name is Kumbinashi, she comes along and she says, no, please spare this guy. He didn't know what he was doing. Don't kill him. And they let him go immediately. This guy comes to his senses and he says, okay, he's like seriously humbled by now.
Okay.
And he says, okay, now I didn't expect this would happen from a mere mortal. I definitely did not expect that. And my pride has been humbled. And in exchange, I want to do something. I want to give you this art of illusion that only the Gandharvas know, called the Chakshushi, by using which you can see whatever you want to see anywhere in the world. So that is one skill that I want to give to you. And also I want to give all of you brothers Gandharva horses that don't tire, that don't, they're very fast and all that. And Arjun tells him, if you're just giving this Chakshushi to me in exchange for me having spared your life, I don't want it.
Okay.
Your wife asked for sanctuary and I gave it. It does not, you should not be giving me something in extra payment for it. I don't need that. Then he says, no, I definitely want to give you something. So I will take the Agneastra from you. I will learn the Agneastra from you. In exchange, I will give you the horses. And they take the horses. And Arjun teaches him the Agneastra. And from that day on, he says, I will be known as Dagda Ratha now because my Ratha has been burnt to ashes.
Yeah.
So the learning from that, there are two important learnings. One is that they started out as enemies.
Correct.
Ended up as friends.
Right.
So they were friends, lifelong friends. But the enmity did not extend beyond that point where Arjun forgives him. Mm-hmm. You forgive an enemy and that's the end of the enmity. You don't hold grudges for the rest of your life.
Right.
And and not to take something, just for free. You can't get something that is disproportionate to what you have given or what you can give.
Right.
You decided to let go the man because his wife begged sanctuary. Yeah. That's it. You didn't do it in expectation that you're going to get something in return. So why do you want? Just because somebody offers something, okay, give me, no problem, I'm getting something free, chalo, put it inside. It's not like that. The other message that you get is that the Gandharva tells these people, the Ganga belongs to me. The forest belongs to me at this point of time. You can't come in. And Arjun makes this very sensible point, saying that this is nature. Nature does not belong to you or me or that person or this person. It belongs to everybody. And it is our responsibility. It is everybody's responsibility to take care of nature. It is everybody's right to make use of it. So I can't say that no, this mountain is not not on my land. So I will not. I'll break it down and I'll make a mess out of it. I can't say that tree is not in my backyard, so I will make a mess out of it and I will throw acid on it. That is in the neighbor's backyard only, so I don't care. It's not like that. Nature belongs to all of us. Everybody. So we have the right to use it. Everybody has the right to use it. Everybody equally has the responsibility to nurture it as well.
Perfect.
So these are two messages that probably apply very well to youngsters as well as the current world.
Well, that's great learning, and this story, in fact, I've never heard it also. So I think there are many such stories in Mahabharata which are totally relevant to right now, and thank you very much for that story. So Deepak ji, one more enlightening story, I'm sure I'll get it from you. So
I want to talk about Dhana Dharma.
Okay.
So that's an issue which people think about. Like, we give for charity. What do we give? How much do we give? So you might have heard of a saying which says, give until it hurts. So basically you have to give away everything, even if you suffer. That's one way of looking at it. The other thing, there are some beliefs which say that you have to give a percentage of how much you have earned.
Correct.
So what is the best thing to give? How much should you give?
Right.
So is there any norm in our Sanatana culture? So we look at a story from the Mahabharata. It is the story of the golden mongoose.
Okay.
Now this happens during the Ashwamedha Yagna. So Yudhishthira conducts an Ashwamedha Yagna after the war.
Kurukshetra.
Once the war is over.
Wonderful.
So Yudhishthira is actually known for his Dhana Dharma. So actually he should be called Danavira, because he gives away so much for charity that he literally almost empties his treasury.
Correct.
So there's a lot of charity done, everyone are happy. And then suddenly they observe that a mongoose comes out.
Okay.
And they're surprised to see it is made of gold, but not the entire body, only half the body. So what it does, it comes to the place where all the offerings were kept and it starts rolling. So it tries to coat its non-gold half of the body with the dust. And then it looks at its body, it remains as it is. It does not turn to gold. So the mongoose turns to Yudhishthira and says, your sacrifice is not as great as the one made by a Brahmana who just made a sacrifice using barley.
Oh.
So everyone is surprised. What is this? What is this comparison? So then the mongoose tells a story. It is related to a family in Kurukshetra. So there was a terrible drought.
Okay.
And there were no crops. So they were starving for a very long time. And that become very thin and almost on the verge of collapsing. So that's when the Brahmana, the head of the household, he goes for getting alms and he gets some barley. So he comes home, they make a preparation, they do their rituals and they're ready to eat. Just then a guest arrives. So it is their dharma to feed the guest. So the Brahmana says, I will give my portion to the guest. So he has it, but he is not satisfied. Then the wife says, I am your Sahadharmini, so I will share in whatever you do. So I will give away my portion. He is still not satisfied. Then the son says, I will give my portion because you are my father. Right? So it matters. Again he is not satisfied. Then the daughter-in-law also gives away her portion. She says that you are my father since I am your daughter-in-law and I have to do what is good for you. So all of them give away their portions of food. Now they are starving. There's absolutely nothing. They are on the verge of death, but yet they give away their food.
Yeah.
Then the Brahmana who consumes the food, he says that you were almost about to die, but yet you gave me what you had. A person who has 100 cows, he gives away 10 cows. Then there's a person who has 10 cows, he gives away 1 cow. There's a person who has nothing. He just offers water to a thirsty person. All these three are equivalent. There's no difference.
Wow.
You may give 100 cows, 1000 cows, or just a glass of water. What is important is the act of giving.
Wonderful.
And you have demonstrated that, so you are going to go to heaven. And the person who was doing the test was none other than Dharma, the god of justice. So Vimana comes and they go to heaven. Okay. Now the mongoose says, I was there at that time and there was a little bit of that barley meal left on the floor. I rolled on it while I was eating it. And the part of my body which came into contact with that, it turned into gold.
Oh.
But one half remained normal. Okay. So what I'm doing, I go to every sacrifice and keep testing to see if it is equivalent. Okay. So your sacrifice,
is not that
Yudhishthira, is not that great. and the mongoose vanishes. So then later on, in the Mahabharata, as we know, Vaishampayana and Janmejaya are having a conversation.
Okay.
So the truth is revealed about the mongoose. The mongoose is actually Krodha. Now,
Aha.
Krodha is an emotion, but it is considered as a celestial being.
Okay.
So Krodha once, what he did, he went into milk which Jamadagni had kept. So the milk became corrupted and it's not fit for use.
Right.
But some Jamadagni is known for his temper. So he, ordered Parshurama to cut off his own mother's head. But he did not get angry. So Krodha was stunned. So then he goes to his ancestors. They say, you committed a sin. So you will be born as a mongoose.
Aha.
So how do I get redemption from this curse?
Through
So you
going
have to
this-
insult Dharma.
Okay.
So Dharma is Yudhishthira,
Aha.
the son of Dharma.
So you have
So
to-
he insults his sacrifice and his curse gets redeemed. At the same time, he narrates this very important story.
Wonderful.
So the message is, do Dhana Dharma without worrying about how much should I give, what should I give. When someone is in need and you can help, do it. That's all is the message.
Beautiful.
I think that's relevant to today's time.
That's very, very, very beautiful, because a lot of people actually do charity as a few things like, okay, I give 1%, I'm very happy.
Yes.
It's not about 1%, as you exactly said, or 100%. It's about for the right time and space, like what is told in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Charity of Sattva is to give for the right people at the right time and right space.
Yes.
That is the right charity. So very wonderfully said. Thank you very much. We have wonderful characters in Mahabharata. So what is the character which is very much inspiring to you? And you can tell us more about why also. It will be helpful on understanding the character more. So we'll start with Deepak ji.
Okay. So the character I choose is Arjuna. So according to me, the real hero of the Mahabharata is Arjuna. Of course, we leave aside Sri Krishna because he is the Lord himself. So we cannot consider him as a player as such. So Arjuna, according to me, is the hero for various reasons. So I want to look at a few aspects that explain why he's such an inspiring character. Now let's start with Arjuna's life as a student. Now we know there's a famous story that Drona puts up a bird on a tree and he calls all of them and he says, shoot its eye. And then when they get ready to shoot, he asks them, what do you see? So one says, I see the bird, another says, I see the tree, I see the sky. He does not allow them even to release the arrow. Then he calls Arjuna, he says, what do you see? He says, I see the eye of the bird. Do you see the bird? Do you see its wings? Do you see the tree? He says, no, no, no. What do you see? I only see the eye. He says, shoot. So he releases the arrow and the bird is hit. So that shows his focus, dedication and vision. He was very clear about what he wanted throughout life. And then there is a very powerful skill known as Shabdavedi. That is, you shoot at a target without seeing it. Many people would have heard of this story with relation to Prithviraj Chauhan. So there's a popular folk tale that he shot and killed the Mughal king through this. Of course, it's a fictional story, but it's famous. So Arjuna was the one who learnt it on his own. No one taught him. And Drona was just blown away by that. That this young boy is so much capable and I should make him the greatest archer in the world. So that's when he decides that he's going to give extra attention to Arjuna because he has the capability. And then there is a test Drona does. He pretends that he has been caught by a crocodile. Now all the boys are in panic. But Arjuna straight away jumps in and goes to save him.
Okay.
So he says, you are the only one who took the initiative and was not scared. So you deserve the highest Brahmastra.
Okay.
So that's when, Karna gets upset and he fights and leaves the ashram. That's of course a different thing. Then another aspect of Arjuna is that he is known as Bhibatsu.
Yeah.
Means he does not cheat or use unfair means during a war.
Oh.
So that is his specialty. So there are some illustrations about that. So what happens during the Mahabharata war, there is a famous warrior called Bhagadatta.
Uh-huh.
So in fact, in a book called Unsung Valor, which both of us have been a part of, I have written that story. So Bhagadatta was the king of Pragjyotisha. And he was the son of Narakasura. So there is a very powerful fight which goes on. And what happens, the elephant of Bhagadatta tries to attack their chariot. And Krishna deftly he moves away the chariot to the side. So from the side, Arjuna is getting a view of Bhagadatta.
Mm-hmm.
He can kill him immediately. He says, I will not do that. He tells Krishna, please take me to the front. I want to fight face to face.
Okay.
And we know that Abhimanyu is killed because his bow is cut by Karna from the back. But Arjuna does not do that. And on day 14 of the war, when he wants to take revenge for his son's death, even there he does not fight unfairly. He fights fairly throughout the day, and then what happens? The war goes on even during the night. Drona is so frustrated that he breaks the code of conduct. The code of conduct says at sunset the war is over. But he says, let's keep fighting. And they even get torches and continue to fight. And as you can know, entire day you fight, and even in night everyone is tired. So Arjuna says, let them sleep for some time. We'll take a break. So he is the one who suggests it. And then everyone agree to it. So he is known as Gudakesha, which means he can go on fighting without sleep.
Wow.
So there are so many such qualities in Arjuna. And another very important thing is he goes and pleases Lord Shiva and gets all the Divyastras. And he gets the most powerful Divyastra, Pashupatastra. But the best part is he never uses it in the war. On day 1, the moment the war started, had he used the Pashupatastra, the war would be over in 2 seconds.
Wow.
But the kind of devastation it would have caused, the side effects, it's like a nuclear weapon.
Right.
The radiation and things like that. So he does not use it. Even on the day Abhimanyu is killed, on that night, he and Krishna travel to Kailasa in their dreams. They meet Lord Shiva and he teaches them how to use the Pashupatastra.
Okay.
But still he does not use it. Because he knows that if he uses it, what will be its effect? Just because I want to achieve my goal, I do not want to destroy the entire world. I want to prove myself by using my own skills. So that was Arjuna's dedication, determination. So I believe that's why he's a very inspiring character and we can all learn from him.
Oh, beautiful. Because we always believe that why is only, Drona partial towards Arjuna, we hear it. But when we understand the capability of using that astra for the right time and space, it's very important. Then only you'll be awarded that thing, right?
Correct.
It's not like, okay, just because we are not told why Drona likes Arjuna. I think these are the stories which help us to understand why he was seen as a great warrior. Why Krishna, amongst all the Pandavas, why was he with Arjuna? I think it went us very, very well. Thank you. And Bhartiji, why Arjuna? I know we heard a great thing about it.
Yeah. So, in fact, taking off on what Deepak was saying about the Pashupata and how he never used it, and you were talking about Drona giving it. Drona gives that higher Brahmastra to Ashwatthama with great regret. He doesn't give it to anybody else. It's called the Brahmashira. He doesn't give it to anybody else. Nobody else demands it either except Karna, who is Drona Sishya, by the way. But he gives it to Ashwatthama, and Ashwatthama misuses it at the last by letting it loose on Uttara's unborn child. And at that point of time, Arjuna has to let loose his Brahmashira to stop the devastation that Ashwatthama can cause with the Brahmashira.
Right.
So he lets loose his Brahmashira to stop the devastation there. And then on the request of Vyasa and everybody, he pulls back the Brahmashira. But Ashwatthama is unable to. So this is why Drona gives the Brahmashira to Arjuna, because he has the capability, he has earned the right to use it. He knows that he has the balance to not use it when unnecessary and to be able to pull it back before it affects the whole of the universe, which Ashwatthama clearly doesn't have. He's unable to do that.
Oh, okay.
So moving on to why I find him inspiring, one thing is he is a Nitya Vidyarthi. Like Deepak was saying, he goes to Shiva to learn the Pashupata, then he goes to heaven to learn the divine weapons. This all happens much later, right before the Agyatwas, when they are in exile. So he's not a trainee anymore.
Okay.
Right? He's not in Gurukul. He's already an established warrior with several successes under his belt.
Right.
Even at that point of time, he's willing to be a student all over again. And it's not just a student for warrior training. He goes and learns dance and music and all that arts from Chitrasena as well. He has no feeling, no, I am a warrior, I will only learn archery, or I will only learn something that makes me a warrior. It's not like that. The basic idea is that there is no limit to learning. There is neither an age limit nor a field limit. You can learn literally anything. Research shows us today that as long as you keep learning new skills, you can even keep cognitive deficiencies away. Dementia you can keep away by learning a new language when you're older, or learning music, or learning a new skill. Probably Arjuna knew at that time he didn't want to get dementia. So he went and learned music and dance, a hardcore warrior learning music and dance. at an age where he's no longer a trainee.
Correct.
He embraced learning. All his life he was willing to learn. Comes back to Kurukshetra, he surrenders to Krishna saying, I am your Sishya. He was always willing to be a Sishya. So that was why he was always humble, because he was always willing to think that other people know better than me. Let me go and learn from them. He was always willing to be the student.
Right.
So he never, went beyond that and started thinking, I will. And he was a guru as well. He had taught and trained so many exemplary warriors, all the Upapandavas, Draupadi's children. Their first guru is Arjuna. Abhimanyu's first guru is Arjuna.
Right.
So he is the one who teaches him the Chakravyuha.
But still he learns.
He learns. He's always learning. And he always credits his gurus. Even in the Kurukshetra war, he says, I have learned from Drona, Bhishma, Krishna, the Devas. He always gives that credit, where it's due. And that's why, the other reason why I find him inspiring is because he's a yogi. He goes to heaven, stays there 5 years, enjoys luxuries, sits on Indra's throne by his side, and still the guy says, no, I'm not going to stay back in heaven. I have a job to do on earth. He comes back. He says, Tata to heaven. He comes back to the earth to fulfill a horrible task.
Yeah.
He is not enamored by heaven. He tells Urvashi, no, I don't want you as my girlfriend. I think of you as my mother. Please forgive me. Gets cursed also in the process.
Yeah.
And he still does not, he's overcome that kind of physical attraction or material attraction. He's overcome by the time.
Excellent.
That's why in Kurukshetra, it is only Arjuna who can ask that question that leads to the Gita. You need to be an Arjuna. To make Krishna give you the right answers, you need to ask the right questions.
Beautiful.
Otherwise, Krishna was there all along. Why didn't Bhishma ever ask him? Bhishma knows who he is. Why didn't Bhishma ever ask him? Why didn't Yudhishthira ever ask him? In fact, at the beginning of the Kurukshetra war, Arjuna says he knows what is going to happen after the war. That is why he laments. He says, look, why should I go and fight now just for a material gain? Why should I get a blood-drenched throne? It is just material wealth. Why should I do that? He's thinking like a yogi already. At the same time, when Yudhishthira is asking Drona, Bhishma, Shalya and Kripa, how do I kill you and succeed in the war? Yudhishthira is thinking like a king. He is right at that point of time. He is right. But post-war, Yudhishthira has the exact same lament that Arjuna has in Arjuna Vishada Yoga.
The first chapter.
Yeah. So Arjuna says, why should I kill these people just for material gain? Let me become a sannyasi instead. Or let me drop my weapons. Gandivam samsate hastat. He's very happy also about it. Let me leave the Gandiva aside. It is anyway slipping from my hands. Let them kill me. Nihatta. I don't mind. But I don't want to kill just for a material gain. That is why he needs a discourse on dharma, not on, okay, you fight, you will become very successful. That's why he needs a discourse on dharma.
Perfect.
And why it is karma yoga and you don't think about the outcome. Whereas Yudhishthira says this exact thing after the war. And he says, I will go away to the forest. You people rule. I cannot rule this blood-drenched throne. And it is Arjuna who tells him at that time, among other people, everybody tells him, Arjuna tells him, no, we've fought this war. We have destroyed a whole generation of people. It is our duty to stay here and rebuild.
Dharma speaks.